Santa Claus? Do you fuck my mom, Santa?
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
You have a TV? No. I just like to read the TV guide. Read the TV guide. Don't need a TV.
It's out special Christmas. Christmas.
I told you we should have not have seen it.
Over 1,600 titles, each for rent at just $2 the first night, and only...
And for all these reasons, I've decided to scalp you and burn your village to the ground.
Now, I have to kill all of you.
Welcome to the Frog Brothers podcast with your hosts, Justin and Alec.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Frog Brothers podcast.
You missed that Christmas intro from last year?
God, it's glorious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Welcome
I figured
to
we'll
the
just
holidays.
leave it the way it is for now.
Yeah, happy holidays, you bastard.
Basically.
So, it's been wild times around here lately. I saw
much.
Ghostbusters Afterlife for a fourth time over the weekend. Tried one of the local beers. It's ecto-cooler themed. It's pretty tasty stuff. Found a bottle of Uncle Dan's Crystal Head vodka, and it came with the 4 free shot glasses for the same price as just the bottle, so, you know.
Did you see any UFOs on the way there to buy it?
Just the one that molested me.
I mean, to be fair, he did snuggle up next to a ghost, according to Uncle Dan.
I mean, you never know what happens.
I felt a presence next to me, and I just kind of cuddled it.
I mean, what do you got to do? So, Afterlife's doing pretty well at the box office. Had a pretty good weekend. I think it's 145.
It's all right. I said, it's all right.
It's all right. Yeah, 145 million globally, including the United States box office. Still hasn't opened in some markets.
Mm-hmm.
And I fucking cry inside every time I think of the Australian friends that have been so royally left behind.
Shit-eating son of a bitch!
Probably spoiled beyond repair at this point.
Yeah.
I feel so bad. Yet I look forward to our discussion about the movie.
Yeah.
The HasLab Proton Pack is pushing towards that last stretch goal with 6 days to go. It's almost at 13,500 as of this recording right now, so that's pretty badass.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, God! Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
There's lots of cool stuff going on Ghostbusters-wise still. So my glow-in-the-dark Winston Zedmore shipped from GameStop. I should be getting that soon. And it blows my mind that I'm going to have that figure that wasn't supposed to be released until January next year before I'll have the Fright Features Phoebe and Trevor. I can't believe that those ones aren't on shelves for the holidays right now, because that's what the kids want.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
So, but Wave 3 of some of these mini puffs came out.
Oh, yes.
Series 3 is what they're listed as. So he's got some of these open there, but I picked these two up tonight, number 25 and number 23.
Not that the camera can pick this up or anything, but this is the one that's wrapped in Christmas lights. I'm going to shove them in the RC bottle over here.
Yeah, and you may or may not be able to see this, but I got a Hot Wheels 1989 Batmobile. This looks like a newer one, so they've got Batmobile, the TV series Batmobile, another Batmobile, the 89, and the animated series. So,
too bad there's no Hot Wheels Ecto 1 out right now that looks like the Afterlife Ecto with the pack that comes with an original and a 1A.
Yep. Well,
all three of those. Well, I mean, you could put them all out right now, to be honest.
Yep, but Mattel has the master license and Hasbro does not. Just kidding. That's 2016. That's why we had all those 2-packs back then. And then got the Jeep Wrangler here from, what is this?
Jurassic World, technically, on the box, but...
Yeah, Jurassic World, but Jeep number 18 from Jada Toys. This is the first time I've seen this one on shelves. I've really been looking for the Christine car in this size and scale, and I haven't seen one yet. I've seen the larger
it in the
one.
bigger one, and it is, like, tempting, but I'm like... I
was like, I don't have any of the other cars in that scale, so I can't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got limited space.
If they had one that was in one of these scales, I'd probably buy it. Because I'm very tempted to get the 66 Batmobile that's in that scale and those figures, but I just... financially drained right now, so no.
I was at a Target the other day, and they had, I think, 10 of those full-size Batmobiles.
I've seen the full Batmobile,
They just had a stack of them. I was like, oh, Lord.
the Batcave playset, too, and a bunch of those figures over at the Blue Springs one.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool line. Other news, really, it doesn't look like the rain car is going to make it. If you're following that HasLab.
Cue the clip of the Rancor Keeper crying.
Basically, yeah. Poor little fella. I'm trying to think what else news-wise. Nothing too crazy, really. Just all the holiday shopping advertising that you can get crammed down your throat. You're basically just gagging on everyone's email advertisements. Sorry.
Holy shit!
So we're going to jump in. We're going to cover some classics tonight.
Are we?
Yeah. Which one do you want to do first?
Well, I mean, we're only doing one movie tonight on this podcast. So.
Oh, yeah, we do have the classic, I should say.
Do we have anything else scheduled for this podcast? Or we just Die Hard and then maybe bullshitting?
We're going to just do some bullshitting. We're going to freelance it for a little bit and just going to go freestyle.
All right, well, I suppose we'll jump into Die Hard first and see what comes of that.
All right.
You know what I just watched?
Me pulling a can off some moron's fist?
Return of the Jedi.
Did you see Alien? When that creature was in that guy's stomach?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You ever seen that really old movie? Empire Strikes Back?
Jesus, Tony.
Welcome to Retro Release Reviews.
Welcome to Retro Release Reviews. Tonight we are covering the Bruce Willis classic, Ghostbusters adjacent, Die Hard.
Pretty much.
It's a pretty good movie. I like it. I think that's all I got to say about that. The real debate, though, that gets everyone up in arms is this a Christmas movie?
Bunch of bullshit. Not arguable.
I watch it around Christmas time, so therefore it's a Christmas movie. That's what I'm going to tell you there.
Listen, I was doing a lot of shit, like rolling blunts, smoking them, and eating when I watched this, so I didn't take all of the notes I wanted to, but I did take note of anything Christmassy that happened in the movie.
Hey, that's what I could run down.
Not everything, but anything that I noticed and was aware of.
So this is very near and dear to the Ghostbusters world for us, right? Not only because of some of the cast members. William Atherton's in there, plays a news reporter, a.k.a. Walter Peck.
Is it Atherton or Atherton?
I don't know. Atherton.
I've always heard Atherton.
Either way, he's dickless, so it sucks to be
How do you say Vincent D'Onofrio's name?
D'Onofrio. You want me to butcher the words? Because I can butcher them. And then Mr. Winslow.
Yeah.
He plays a cop in this movie, plays a cop in that movie, plays a cop in a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows. He's basically a cop. And Wilhelm von Homburg as Vigo the Carpathian.
Basically.
And he's the last one listed as the henchman in this movie in the credits.
A child.
So there's a lot of that there. And we've been to Nakatomi Plaza.
On the trip to see Ghostbusters Fan Fest. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Ernie Hudson is in Airheads, which is also filmed there. So, come on.
Really? I mean, it's just a full circle.
And
jerk.
I mean, Brendan Fraser and Adam Sandler were in that movie too. So,
I mean, yeah, we got all kinds of things going here. It's all 6
I
degrees
just watched
of
The
separation.
Mummy the other day. Should we review that instead?
Fuck yeah, I haven't watched that in years. So.
Oh, we should review that soon then, because I fucking love that movie. The first one's solid gold.
It is. It's a classic.
But I guess we're reviewing Die Hard today.
Yeah, that's the word on the street. It's Die Hard.
It's based on a novel called Nothing Lasts Forever, which sounds like a bad James Bond movie.
It does.
By Roderick Thorpe. They changed a bunch of shit from it. The director is John McTiernan. McTiernan? I don't know. My handwriting's garbage, and
I'm just going to take your word for it. Hey, maybe we could check on the box here in front of us. Maybe I can tell you that then. I'll give you the breakdown.
Either way, he's the director of Predator, and also came back for Die Hard 3. He did The Hunt for Red October, A Hunt for Red October. I'm in that movie, aren't I?
Losers always whine about their best.
I've never seen that movie.
Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Losers always whine about their best.
I don't know where Winners is at. It's
Yeah.
over here by itself.
John McTiernan, director. He's a winner.
Do you know who the cinematographer this was, without looking at the box?
No.
Somebody also very close and dear to our hearts.
Kovacs?
No, in another way that we have filmed something about a movie they made.
The director, Twister?
Jean Debont.
Yep, hell yeah.
Was a cinematographer for this movie and later directed Speed and Twister and some other cool shit, but those are the big two.
It's a small world after all.
Basically.
But we're having a good time with it.
So when I put this movie on for the first time, since we watched something else recently that starts very much a similar way with a blank screen and airplane sounds. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles starts the same exact way as this movie.
Yes.
And I was like, wait, did I put in the wrong fucking movie? And then the shit happens and, it doesn't turn into Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and it's not. In the office and shit. So, this is one of those weird things, You want to know the secret to surviving air travel? When you get around to your destination, take your shoes and socks off and make fists with your feet on the carpet or, basically something along those lines. Which is just a weird-ass fucking dialogue plot device. That's the weirdest fucking dialogue in this whole movie, because it's just there to make him barefoot later in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically that's all it gets around to. Is like, yeah, we gotta have him barefoot. It's gonna be more badass if he's barefoot.
Basically. Or really just he's in more danger and it's harder for him to do shit. And we can have him cut up his feet in glass.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be trying to steal the guy's shoes. But he'll be like, yeah, his feet are smaller than my sister's. That's one of his jokes.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to do the whole review in this voice.
Please don't. I'm going to walk out of the room if you do.
I'm going to do it in space, too. Welcome to the Frog Brothers Podcast.
This is douche number 1 and douche number 2 coming to you from outer space.
Space. So that's a really weird thing. I do love the excessively Sign of the Times title card that looks like it's out of those old presets for Microsoft PowerPoint from the 90s. That's what it looks like. And it's like, Die Hard. And he's at the fucking LA airport, LAX.
Yeah, it's like worse than fucking cereal box art. I mean, that's how bad that one is.
But it's like, such a sign of the times that I love it. It's so fitting. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for Die Hard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, sometimes terrible is amazing in the beautiful ways.
Lots of the translations in other languages are like, die like a man. Man dies like man. And like weird interpretations of that kind of shit. Die manly is one of them.
Well, yeah, because they didn't want to name their movie Die Erect, because when they say hard and erect, there's some overlap there. Which is a whole other movie series.
So, Holly, it's like, shows Holly's party basically at Nakatomi Plaza, which is, as we said before, we went to Fox Plaza. And if you're looking at these shots, it's like, wow, it looks the same as it did when we were there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
we did a fair amount of video shoots while we were there before we got kicked out.
Yeah, we were kicked out for sure. But it was at like 6 p.m. and it was still light out. And there was
6 p.m. on a Sunday night. I don't think anyone expected anyone to be doing sightseeing then.
Yeah, and the gate was just open to get down in there, so we were like, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a tow truck here. What are they going to do? So.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, you should check out the video of that. It's under, I believe, The Frog Brothers Take LA on our YouTube, youtube.com/thefrogbrothers.
Yeah. And if you're already on our YouTube, after you finish this episode, go take a look.
Yeah, it's from about 2.5 years ago. It's fucking old. We're old. Time is a fucked up thing.
Time is a concept.
So they're at Holly's party, and she tells him no snooping around in her office by the time he gets in there. Which is funny, but when he's waiting in there, Ellis is like doing coke in her office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck, man?
It's the 80s movies, man.
It's hilarious.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Hans Booby. Ellis is a hilarious character that, I'm fully prepared to see die many times whenever I watch this movie. So
you can't forget the limo driver, though. He gets set up before he gets down to the plaza.
Argyle.
He's fucking awesome. He's one of the best characters. Like, every time you see him, like, fucking hanging out in the limo listening, you're just like, yeah.
He's fucking oblivious to what's happening for the first 75% of the movie.
Yeah, and then he gets fucking hyped up to it, and then
he's just like calling women, and he's like, yo, baby, I'm going to come see you after work. What's up?
Yeah, well, he's got a limo, man. If you had a limo to drive for work, you'd maybe go use the back of it, too. And then he fucking gets to become a hero. That's badass. I just had to shout him out real quick because he makes me happy.
Yeah, no, he's good. Christmas in Hollis.
Mm-hmm.
Run DMC. It's on my my playlist for sure.
Hell yeah, it is. And actually, you can probably find Alex's playlist on Spotify. If it's not public, he might be able to make it public.
It's just my personal Christmas music playlist, so it has some random weird shit on it. But there is
fucking go public, man. Let people get weird with
I mean, it probably is public. I just don't, have like a public account or anything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he says that I like when he gets there, all right, and he's like talking to the security guy behind the counter. He's like, I'm here to see Holly McLean, and he's like, just type it in the thing or whatever. And he calls it, he says, cute toy. He says, yeah, if you have to take a leak, it'll help you find your zipper. And I would have asked, adorable. Can I fuck it?
Yeah.
Does it have a pussy somewhere on it? Or just even a butthole?
I mean,
or a nostril.
You can do what you want with it. Yeah, they kind of do the basic setup piece here, right? You kind of get to figure out that he's estranged from his wife, and he's out there trying to make it for the holidays. We get a little bit of background on his flight out there. He doesn't like flying, and he's a cop, all this other shit.
He asked for Christmas music. Christmas 1. Christmas in Hollis plays. Christmas 2.
Mm-hmm.
He whistles Jingle Bells on his way in there. 3. Christmas 3. It's Christmas Eve. 4.
Yep.
On a Christmas Eve party. 5. Party of 5. Who was in that show? I didn't even ever watch it.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Sounds like a porno.
Well, what do you got next on there?
I'm trying to read what I wrote.
I fucking hate it when I can't read my own handwriting.
What do you think that says? Because I can tell you what it says. That word right there. It's hacker.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hacker guy is my favorite. His name's Theo, I figured out later when I wrote the notes.
Here's a fun fact about this film that just occurred to me. He's in Top Gun.
The hacker guy?
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
He's one of the... I was like, why is his fucking
one of the pilots
voice
or something?
So familiar? Yeah, he's the guy that Maverick flies with after Goose dies. He's like, we fucking had it, man. We could have had it. And he's like shaking his helmet. And I was like, I knew the fucking voice. And it, like the fucking like light bulb fucking literally exploded. I was like, how many times have I seen this movie and that movie and never put those things together? I was ashamed of myself. But carry on, because he's great in this movie too.
Yeah, kind of like how the guy who is in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles as the guy who's there to pick them up is also Dr. Connors in the first or the second Spider-Man movie.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember if he's in the third one, but
well, there's always these fun things that you got to learn.
Basically, the quote-unquote terrorists start showing up. They're not terrorists, but they start showing up. And they start fucking shit up basically already.
Mm-hmm.
Carl's brother, who I don't know his name. What's his name? The guy with the shorter blonde hair and the glasses who gets killed first, basically, mainly.
Oh.
But he goes down there and he's like trying to disconnect the phone lines and shit. What I tell you, the phone lines are over there.
Yeah.
And the guy takes the chainsaw to him and he's like, 99999.
Yeah, it's special. They don't fuck around with the action in this movie. I like it. It's fun.
Yeah. And then you cut to him making fists with his feet on the carpet.
Well, you have to pay off on that.
Son of a bitch. And you're like, all right.
Like it works. Did you do that when we flew to New York?
No, but I thought about
You
it
should have.
afterwards. When I watched this, I was like, damn, I'm surprised I'm alive. What's this say? Oh, the party entrance of Hans and the dudes, which includes Vigo. Mm-hmm. Vigo's one of the dudes hanging out in the elevator with him that comes out with all the guns.
Yeah.
And then everybody's either panicking or just sitting down like, cool. But, yeah, that scene doesn't last long. Or does it? I don't remember.
Well, you really get into the nitty-gritty here. Like
my handwriting was shit last night. I can't read anything. I'm like...
Oh, shit. He almost knocked his fucking tree over.
Look what you did to my tree.
It was an ugly tree anyway.
Oh, that's where John hears the gunshots, and I'm like, why don't... This is where you put your shoes on.
Mm-hmm.
Personally.
Yeah.
But no, he does not do this.
Mm-mm.
And I this is where I wrote down that it is a weird plot device just to make him shoeless.
It is, yeah. It's so strange.
Who directed this? Quentin Tarantino?
He does have a foot fetish. In case you're wondering why he said what he said. And normally Alec would play the thanks, Dad.
Then there's people fucking. One of them is played by a Playboy bunny. The one with the tits.
Okay. I guess I didn't take note of that.
I only did because it's something I read on IMDb.
Oh,
but
okay,
it is a notice. It's an interesting fact just because her massive tits are out in that scene. And you're like, well, it is an 80s movie, so.
Very common then. The breasts were...
We need more tits.
The breasts were free in the 80s.
Breast disease. I like the boobies. I like to put my face between them and just smash it.
Act like I'm a choo-choo train. I'm sorry if you're still listening, but this is already off the rails.
You think that's off the rails?
You should see
Some
what
of what you are about to see and hear is explicit.
I like to take a shit between those tits and then chili dog it. If you know what that means, it is taking your penis and fucking the shit between a pair of tits. Yeah.
Alec has just become the walking, talking Urban Dictionary. Thank you. That's so stupid.
I love it.
That's why we're here, folks.
So where are we? We're watching Die Hard.
You're talking about the
people
Playboy
fucking.
bunny.
That's right.
Fornicating.
He goes upstairs to the room under construction, and he's like, "Think, man, think, John. Why didn't you do something? Because then you'll be dead too, asshole."
Mm-hmm. Actually, that was a pretty good impersonation there. I like that one.
Yeah.
He panics pretty good in this movie.
My favorite little bit of one of my favorite things Hans Gruber says is at the end of his little speech there, he's like talking about
the Takata Corporation will no longer take advantage of the poopy doody shibbity.
And then the last thing he says is, "You will be witnesses."
Mm-hmm.
And the way he says it is great.
Yeah.
Which one of you is Joseph Yashambo Takati?
And then he like tells him his fucking life history. He's like,
graduated in this, lost his virginity at this age.
And he didn't say that, but he should have.
Basically. I mean, he may as well have.
Ritualistically shaved his testicles.
That's an Austin Powers joke.
Testicles.
Takati is then interrogated. And in the elevator ride, he's like,
nice suit.
What does he call it?
John Phillips, London. I've got two myself.
And then he takes him up there and he's trying to get the bank vault codes to Theo with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, what kind of terrorists are you? And he laughs at him. He's like,
who said we were terrorists?
Yeah. And John basically sneaks in during this time on the floor.
Yeah.
He's cucking the scene up. He's like, basically sneaking in, seeing Takati about to blow his load all over the window.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very nice suit, Mr. Takati. It'd be a shame to ruin it. A lot of these feel very tropey things that I'm like, I don't recall some of these lines like this before this. So these might be inventions of some of these kind of tropes, like that one. I'm not sure.
Yeah. And either way, it's typical bad guy. It's very typical bad guy shit.
But it's good shit.
Well, it's well executed, right? So it's not like, it doesn't feel very tired at this point when you watch this, because it fits the scene.
And then he splatters them all over the fucking wall.
Yeah.
And
it's
then
a pretty good death scene, really.
Yeah. I like the...
Instills fear in the people.
Thinking back now, it reminds me of Pineapple Express. I think Pineapple Express might have done that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Either unknowingly or the cinematographer did or somebody, but where they kind of recreate the splatter of the guy's brains on the fucking glass.
I mean, you may as well. What the fuck else are you going to do with it?
Where the fuck am I at?
I don't know. We're in your videotape room.
I don't know. Who am I?
Are we in Die Harder 2?
Die Hard 2, Die Harder.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's called.
Rubber band and a popsicle stick. If you ever need a splint.
I don't need any dick splinters, if you know what I mean. I'm good.
Yeah. Master Splinter. I think that's where his name came from. I just figured it out.
He masturbates with splinters?
Yes.
Like he's like, I'm just too horny and there's a splinter in my dick, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens.
Sometimes you got to live dangerously.
I almost went on a really fucked up tangent, but I don't think you're ready.
I guess you guys aren't ready for that yet.
And then you have John versus Carl's brother. Their epic fight. You're a policeman. Policemen have rules.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my boss keeps telling me, or whatever he says.
Yeah, that's what my boss keeps telling me. That's a good little fight.
Yeah, it's one of the best ones in the movie, actually. It's really awesome, and it's hilarious. Him popping around and turning on the saw and shit is funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then he fucking breaks his neck down a flight of stairs. Somehow doesn't break his own neck, but whatever.
That's fine. You don't want to tell your friends you fell down the stairs again, do you?
And then puts his ass in an elevator and sends him down while riding on top of the elevator. With the now I have a machine gun, ho ho ho, written on it.
That's one of the most beautiful things from this whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho.
I watched this for the first time, believe it or not, when I was 20, maybe 19.
Okay.
During Christmas time, and I was like, oh. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This was one of the moments where I was like, this is amazing.
And he's got the nice little strap on the machine gun, so he can just
He's got the strap on his machine gun, Scoob.
He's got a strap on. Wait, he got a strap on machine gun? Yeah, something like that.
Basically.
But it just keeps him limber with it, right? He can kind of move around, a little wiggle room. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I like that when John's walking through the behind, the elevator shafts and shit, there's a poster of a naked woman on the wall, and he's just staring at it the entire time he walks through.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's fascinated.
He's like, boobs.
Boobs! He's the big gazungas on the wall. Gazungas.
And then he starts his radio relationship with his buddy out in the parking lot.
Yep.
He has a pretty epic intro, because he's clearly
I love when he's getting all the Twinkies and shit.
Yeah, he's buying all this junk food and basically saying, fuck off, I'm signing out. And it feels like you coming home to podcast.
Basically.
Alex all right, I'm going to need one of these, one of these, one of these. I'm about to fuck off for the night.
Basically. No, 100%.
He's your spirit animal as far as characters go, because he's like, I really don't want to fucking do this, but he's like, God damn it, I'll go check it out. And then he gets down there and gets sucked into it.
And people ask me, well, why aren't you out doing something more successful? And I'm like, because I shot a kid.
Yeah.
Wasn't my fault. He was 13.
Yeah.
He had a ray gun. Seemed real to me.
Basically. And that was way ahead of its time. I mean, you're hearing reports of that shit happening because they had a lot of realistic-looking fucking toy guns in the 80s, which I'm surprised more children weren't mowed down.
Yeah.
But, moving on.
Buying vintage toys is a danger.
It is.
To us all.
Yeah. But that fucking water gun Uzi for the Frog Bros cosplay, and I'm like, I'm not really fucking comfortable walking around with that too often.
Yeah.
They didn't even have the orange tips on those things yet.
Oh, and then he's running around. He's doing the famous thing. He's crawling.
Mm-hmm.
We need to make these ornaments of that. But he's crawling through there, and he's like, "Come out to the coast, have a few laughs. We'll get together, have a few laughs."
Yeah.
And then he has the other very famous line. "Now I know what a TV dinner feels like."
Yep.
And he's already dirty as fuck at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's fucking filthy. This filthy motherfucker. I heard they had, or not I heard, but I read. That's what I heard. They had 17 different shirts in various degradation grades for his outfit.
For his, yeah. I'm sure you have to. Because eventually he just fucking doesn't even have a shirt.
Yeah. So when those two guys come up in there and they start fuck with him, he shoots up through under the table, and he lost like 2/3 of hearing in one of his ears from this scene, shooting this scene. He's like almost completely deaf, and he uses a hearing aid in one scene because the way they had him plexiglassed in with the sound of the gun firing just fucking ruined his ears.
That sucks.
Oh, that's basically when he throws that guy's body out at his car finally.
Mm-hmm.
And that scene's pretty funny because then they start shooting at him and shit, and he drives his fucking car back up and off that fucking ledge.
Yeah.
Basically makes contact. Then Paul Gleason shows up, who's famous for mainly The Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm, as the principal.
As well as Trading Places as the asshole guy.
Now, he's a great asshole cop in this. You know, he's fucking, I'm in charge of this shit. And I love how he's such an asshole on the radio and getting so pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a great character in this.
And one of my other favorite little bits in this movie that's just like, this is the kind of like sprinkles on top of the movie that make it better than other fucking action movies. The fucking Asian guy who's one of the criminals, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He gets behind one of the counters to guard the door or whatever. And he looks down, he looks up, he looks down. There's candy below him. And he reaches down and starts eating the candy. Yeah. And later you come back to him and he's eating a Crunch bar.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, Ghostbusters adjacent again, motherfucker.
Yeah, I just love how he's finding a way to snack.
Yeah.
That's classic, you know, like you're doing a serious job, but you're still snacking, you know?
Yeah, you're like, I could use some chocolate.
And then obviously McClane's wife's trying to go by her maiden name.
McClane's wife? Excuse me, her name is Holly Gennaro.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't remember, so I was hoping you'd say that. Yeah, so Holly's going by her maiden name there because she's separated at that point, so... and then I like how she has the photo of him and her down in her office at one point in time, and she's kind of looking at it like, oh, fuck. And she actually has a really good role in this. I think she's great. Kind of leading them like people need to use the bathroom.
Bonnie Bedelia.
We got a pregnant woman here that, you know, she's not due today, but, you know, she's got to fucking sit down. So you can, like, let her have an office and a couch. And, like, we'll bring a couch out to her. Good enough? Jeez, thank you.
Fuck it.
I mean, you may as well bring a couch out to everybody. If I'm going to be a
Holy
fucking
shit.
hostage. What's that?
I didn't do that on purpose, but I just hit the fuck it button, and I looked down, and my next note is the RV stripes button, but then fuck it. Which I don't remember what fuck it is referring to here in this context, even. So.
You're just high Alec is leaving notes for sober Alec.
Basically.
It's high Alec.
Yeah. High Alec is leaving notes for the Alec that has already forgotten everything that he did when he was high last time.
Yes.
So it's a different Alec.
Yes, it is.
There was another Alec. An evil Alec.
And
I fucked him.
Well, yeah, you do that anyway.
Exactly. Onlyfans.com/
Alec on Alec crime.
Gaping anus.
A noose?
Gaping anus.
Grappling hook anus? Gatling gun anus?
This is trifling.
This might be the dumbest review we've ever done.
No.
Highly unlikely.
We've done worse for sure.
Yes.
I mean, I couldn't tell you which one, but you
I
should
hope to God you've seen Die Hard if you're listening to us talk about it, because holy fuck, we're not really talking about...
Well, we're not
beat for beat. We're just kind of out here fucking around talking about it a little bit. You know?
Yeah, basically. Ellis, my note is, Ellis is tired of sitting here. Because he says, I'm tired of sitting here.
I mean, yeah.
That's good. I'm good.
That's a quality fucking note right there.
Yeah, that's a good note, like knowing that I'm going to think it's funny later. I'm past Alec. Stoned Alec from last night is looking out for this Alec right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ellis tries to be smart, but he's fucking dumb. He calls him Hans. Booby.
Mm-hmm.
When he fell down the vent shaft earlier, this is irrelevant now, but it's from earlier.
Okay.
Something else I read, though. That was a stuntman who was only supposed to fall down one, and then just fucking fell down. And then they used the shot because it was a good shot.
I mean...
And they made it look like he grabbed a lower one, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But that guy got fucked up, surely.
You gotta love it. Hey, I mean, if it fucking looks good on film, it looks good on film.
Don't call cut. You don't go cutting my shot.
Yeah. Cold cuts. What is this, a Subway ad?
He also wore rubber feet at some points.
Yeah, I'm sure he
rubber
had to.
shoes. So if you look real closely at some parts where he's running through glass, it's like he's Bigfoot.
Yeah, and there's, you know, they also make like rubber glass for those types of stunt scenes, so.
Here, read this note.
Alice dies, lol.
Yeah, because he gets fucking shot. Presumably in the fucking face.
Mm-hmm.
Which he has a very shootable face, let's say.
Yes.
There's been more Christmas references in here. For example, the ho ho ho. So we're at like 6, 7, 8. I don't know. There's some that I just didn't write down as well because I was high.
All the office party decor that's kind of casually placed around the set.
But at one point, Hans, or somebody says, I think it's Hans, to Theo. It's Christmas, Theo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a note I wrote down. I don't remember it, but I wrote it down, and Stoned Me wouldn't lie. To me, anyway.
Well, why would you?
Also, yeah, I wrote down literally. Also, when the people were coming inside, they were about to break in, basically, because they didn't believe them about the terrorists being there. Theo was doing the whole, 'twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, except for those 4 assholes coming in 2x2 formation in the rear.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever he says.
Yeah.
So that's another one.
That's great when they bring in the military, the police armored vehicle.
Yeah, yeah.
And they fucking get the rocket launchers
All I'm
out.
thinking about is Stripes when I see that thing.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think Stripes, and I also think like the militarization of the police department, and you're like, woo.
Yeah.
It's been going on a lot longer than you really remember.
And then the FBI gets there. And this is one of the more hilarious, tropey exchanges of, hey, I'm Officer whoever, and I'm in charge here. Light cigarette, not anymore.
Yeah, very fucking tropey. It's amazing. And then he's kind of butthurt about it, and then he's like, you know, he's like, when we commandeer your people. Basically tells them, we're going to have your
We'll
police
let you know when we commandeer your people, and then basically fuck off.
Yeah.
And
they're really fucking pissed at McClane for fucking letting that asshole die.
Yeah.
And he really deserved it. That was actually a good exchange. Come on, John, buddy. You're a good pal of mine. Come on. Turn yourself in. You're just going to make this worse. And when he dies, you're like, fuck, good. Fucking deserved it. That guy fucking sucked.
And
I love a well-written character that gets offed because you're just like, yeah. Feels good.
When he gets offed, I get off.
Mm-hmm.
I use his blood as lube, if you know what I'm saying.
Sure. You say so. I don't know how you get blood out of a VCR tape, but maybe if you put in the wrong utensil.
That doesn't fit in that thing.
It's not going in the DVD player, Russ. It's going in the VCR.
It's not going to the VCR player either, man. Shit. That thing's smaller than it looks. I'm not talking about my penis.
But are you?
Yes, it's very tiny. Oh, this is where Hans does the whole,
Oh, please, it's... Oh, one of them on you!
Yeah. I love how this asshole fucking hides his gun around the corner, too, and, like, John's, like, leading him the other way. And
John's like, nah, bitch.
Yeah.
My next note, well, it says he gives them the empty gun or whatever, and then he tries to shoot him, whatever.
And he just fucking laughs. I'm like, you dumb bastard.
Yeah, you think I'm an idiot?
Yeah.
I'm not your everyday garden variety fool, okay?
Pretty much.
And then my next note says, I shot a kid.
Yeah, they have that whole conversation.
Which is, again, like, is this conversation really happening? Because it's kind of fucking fucked up and hilarious because it's so random. It seems like a fucking gag.
Well, and it's all set up for later payoff.
Yeah.
Because
with
someone that's afraid to use their service weapon.
This is a movie that the themes that I was reading about on the internet, this is not my opinion, I don't give a fuck, but are redemption through violence.
I could see that.
Basically, because John McClane is redeemed through his wife's eyes by murdering a bunch of terrorist criminals in the building. Mm-hmm. And then he's also...
redeemed for shooting a child by killing another grown man.
Yes.
So... Well, they don't say if the
you ever seen a grown man die?
There's one distinguishing thing, though. They don't say the kid died. He said, I shot a kid.
Well, yeah, he doesn't...
So there's some implication that he survived, but he still feels guilty and is not comfortable using
I shot a kid. He survived.
I shot a kid.
So I shot him again.
Just to watch him die. The train keeps rolling on down to Knob.
Oh, the power guy.
Yeah.
Walt. He's in The Burbs with Tom Hanks. He's his neighbor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when they go there.
He's in a couple other small things here and there, but every time I see him, I'm like, there's that guy. But he's in The Burbs. It's my favorite role of his.
Like, we can't shut down power to this whole fucking section of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And they're like,
this is Walt down at Nakatomi Plaza. You gonna shut the whole grid down to power 19 or whatever he says?
Yeah. That's great.
And then they play Beethoven, Joy to the World.
Mm-hmm. Well, what else are you going to play?
Because it's a Christmas song.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's at least associated with Christmas shit. And then Theo says Merry Christmas because they get the vault open because the FBI cut the power.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what they needed. Works out.
You ask for miracles, I give you the FBI.
And here's another trope. I needed to tell my wife. I'm sorry. She's never heard me say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Be like, damn, you were a bad husband.
Basically.
You do not deserve that thing. I'm going after it, actually. Did you say her name was Holly?
Tell Holly I got Twinkies in my car. I'm gonna share some dessert.
Tell him my dick is as thick as 4 Twinkies wrapped around together with a rubber band around that shits. Twice as much cream filling, too.
Anything's a dick joke if you're willing to go there.
It is. I actually I had this idea the other day because Twinkies brought it up specifically where I want to like either just do like how those people did bad lip readings of shit, do it for Ghostbusters. And just so, like, one of the things I thought of was Egon will definitely be talking about his dick when he holds up the Twinkie.
Oh, yeah.
And be like, it looks like this, but longer. Yeah. So that's the thing I need to do.
Mm-hmm. So if you see more hot flaming garbage from us, just know that's where we had the idea.
Or William Atherton showing up at the house and saying, if you don't let me in right now, I will call the NIA. If he does that again, you can shoot him. Mm-hmm. That's how he sounds.
Yeah. He's just more of a bumbling asshole in this one, though.
His identity is revealed, or Holly's identity is revealed, finally, to Hans. And then You have Carl versus John.
Fight!
At the beginning, on the top of the roof there.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of all throughout the inside, too. And
that's an epic final battle scene there.
It is pretty fucking cool to see.
Because you get all those hostages up on the fucking roof.
Then he does the fucking fire hose thing where he jumps off the roof, too.
That's a crazy sequence. And that helicopter crashing is pretty fucking epic. And they're trying to shoot him, too.
And then when the building explodes at the top, my note is, in quotes, something very familiar about all this.
Yeah.
Because and this is where my note is, that there's 3 actors from Ghostbusters. Takes place in a fucking high-rise at the end that explodes at the top.
And the final act, yes. Basically, and...
Same sort of
just
ending.
Before the credits.
Surrounded by firefighters and cops and all that shit.
Yep. That's a good sequence, though. I mean, that's a good payoff. And then, obviously, you get to see Hans Gruber fall.
Which is one of those shots where they, like, famously dropped him early so they could get a surprise reaction out of him.
Yeah.
And he was kind of pissed about it. But he, like, did fall like a genuine... Like, they shot it on a stage, you know, with blue screen and shit. But, like, they did drop him to do that scene. And it's one of the drop scenes that looks pretty good for its time era. Like, there's a lot of falling and death scenes that look like shit.
Yeah, I mean, even the blue screen technology then wasn't the greatest, so, like, he legit looks fucking fearful.
Yeah,
and
it works.
That takes it from, like, being okay to great. It's beautiful, Clark.
Yep. And then, that's all my notes.
Well, somebody gets to come and redeem themselves after they're down there and getting checked out by the police and everything.
Yeah.
Guess who gets to shoot his gun this time and take out the bad guy? Hell yeah. The final story of redemption. And then another time we'll talk about Die Hard 2. But Die Hard 2 was originally written as something else completely different. They're like, hey, we're going to turn this into a Die Hard movie.
But let's be honest. What's the best Die Hard sequel for you?
Fuck, that's a good question.
For me, it's Die Hard with a Vengeance for sure. Because Sam Jackson throughout the whole movie with him.
Him taunting,
The plot of the movie is pretty good. I mean, it's a little bit cheesy for it to be Hans Gruber's brother hunting him down. Because it's, whatever. But the plot of the movie is still very well done. And I enjoy that one the most.
Well, Sam
behind
Jackson's
this one.
hard to fucking argue, right? So yeah, I'd definitely say that's close. Follows right behind the first.
Yeah, and then the second one's probably my third favorite. And then the one that came out with Timothy Olyphant as the bad guy. Live Free or Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
Then what's the other one called? The last one they did?
Die Hard with a Vengeance?
No, that's the third one.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
The one where he's with his son in Europe?
Yeah. I've only seen that
or
one
not
once.
I mean, Europe, but also more like the old Soviet
The one before
Union.
that has Justin Long and Kevin Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one okay.
I mean, they're all pretty fun in their own regards, but some of them are actually much better than others, right? So.
Well, I suppose that's Die Hard, folks.
Yeah, what did you think of Die Hard?
Do you think it's a Christmas movie? Because if you don't, fuck off, I don't care. Because, it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, we're doing Christmas movies, and it's the first one we're doing this year, so...
I decided we would just get it out of the way this year because last year I skipped it intentionally just because I was like, fuck all those people who want to debate if it's a Christmas movie or not, just because it doesn't matter. I watch it during Christmas, it's a Christmas movie. Same thing. Batman Returns is, I could see somebody debating, that's not a Christmas movie. But again, it doesn't matter because I like to watch it during Christmas because there's Christmas decorations up in it. And the last line of the movie, you know what it is? Merry Christmas, Alfred.
Mm-hmm.
So eat a fucking cock.
Well, don't do that. That would probably really hurt him in real life. You'd probably be upset if someone actually ate your cock.
Well, when I say that, I'm using slang.
I know. I'm just being an asshole.
Eat as in, give me some sloppy toppy.
Sloppy Joes?
I'm talking about, like, there needs to be a butt print of spit when I sit up, when I get up, because it needs to run down my balls and in my gooch and then be soaking the chair.
The gooch is another name for taint, in case you're unaware.
Yeah. It's a generational thing.
Mm-hmm.
Those of us who are young enough to see Jackass, the movie, in theaters call it gooch. Or taint, just if that's what you are around already.
Either way, it works.
So that's Die Hard. What do we got going on today?
What do we got going on today? Well, I mean, we could almost do not even quite a sick, sad world, but just dealing with all the stupid people on the internet. You ever get tired of people on the internet?
Yeah, let's see what I got. I got some shit saved. I screenshot all the dumb shit I see.
Yeah. I've had to leave some Ghostbusters groups because of the amount of ignorant shit in there.
All right, here's one. You can tell the woke doublespace media does not want Ghostbusters not capitalized afterlife to do good. There should be a period there, and this next word should be capitalized. It is doing fantastic in the box office, and they're still trying to say no, it's a failure. I can't stand the media. Again, I don't know what these people are fucking reading or where.
There's a thing that I've really realized. Most general people on Facebook, and I'm just going to say Facebook because most of this really ignorant shit's on there, right? I feel like there's a smarter crowd on Twitter a little bit, right?
Well, I mean, there's just as many fucking pricks. There's like literal Nazis on Twitter, too. I've seen this shit, man. It's fucked.
But it's harder to follow some of those threads on Twitter, right? It's just so easy to see all the nonsense on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, because everybody's comments are...
It's all garbage piled up once over another. And people have no fucking idea how businesses actually work and how profits work and how people have shareholders and all these things. No one fucking knows how to run a business.
Here's someone trying to say that Jason Reitman was being insincere when he said to Paul Feig, "You are a class act, a great friend, and a brilliant director. My heart is filled with gratitude for Paul Feig, the brilliant Answer the Call cast and crew. Thank you for expanding the Ghostbusters universe and giving me the courage to attempt a Ghostbusters movie. We are all Ghostbusters."
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, well, he clearly doesn't mean it. Like, what are you... Try harder to make it fit your own narrative.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. And, like, have you seen any of Jason's movies? It's all about heart and finding a way to care and about good stories for people just existing and going through life. That's what so many of his movies are about. And when we talked about this earlier, like, my favorite part of Ghostbusters Afterlife is the new characters and the scenarios they are experiencing and dealing with. That's what works so well about his writing and his directorial style. And people just... Everyone wants to take this back to Answer the Call or make it as a dig about somebody else, and it's like, what is your malfunction? Like, you literally have no emotional intelligence at all to be so angry and so upset about something that's 5 years old, and there's an entire generation of people that grow up, and that's their Ghostbusters. Like, right? Why would you want to take something away from somebody? They do everything they can to remove someone's happiness because they didn't understand the movie.
Here's a funny one. Read that.
The director just confirmed that Vigo is returning in Ghostbusters Afterlife 2.
And I gotta read it like that because I'm assuming it's some fucking backwoods buttfuck Billy that has no fucking brain.
Jesus. It could be a child, or it could literally be somebody with a mental illness. I didn't tell you if it was or wasn't.
I don't fucking care.
But I didn't check.
Someone
fucking care!
Someone should monitor their fucking internet usage because that's out of control.
That's amazing. It's out of control.
Yeah. All of basically...
Oh, wait.
What you got?
Did you see...
Did I see what?
You didn't see it, right? I don't have all the screenshots either.
Oh,
You must have been busy when this was happening, because I was trying to get you to reply, because I couldn't, and I was like, so I want to say so many things.
I had so much going on, yeah.
So...
Do we want to be mean?
No, we're not going to be super mean. I'm just going to be mean enough. Anybody who's listening and who has seen Ghost Heads knows the sad story. But anyway, a gentleman, some people may know him by the name of Tom Gebhardt, posted in our group.
Frog Bros group, yeah.
Which, by the way, is called Frog Bros Video. Search it up on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Hit request to join, and we will approve it. Apparently, like we did Tom Gebhardt. I don't recall approving him, but sure, he joined our group to post in it.
Yeah, I don't remember approving it. I don't recall.
Oh, maybe all the groups went public, and we have to, like, adjust it now.
Oh, yeah, you probably do have to change it back.
Because
Yeah.
one of his friends was posted in there before, like, hey, support our fan film, basically. This is what's funny about it, too. So it says, hey, Frog Bros, sorry I missed you all at the premiere, but let's collaborate. We have an amazing fan-filled web series in the works. I know how much you all love Ghostbusters, so who you gonna call? Somebody else. I know how much...
A dentist? Oh, too soon?
We got Kevin Kuchavner. I'm butchering the guy's name. What do you want from me? From Ghostbusters 2 VFX. Rusty Gilligan, Rahi Hudson, Ernie Hudson's son, just to name a few. If you all have something you would like sharing, shoot me a DM and we'll be happy to help. After all, one hand washes the other, especially when it's got slime on it. Slime from your own fucking spunk?
I mean, I get that there's people out there that like this guy, right? Whatever, to each his own. But everything we've heard, and we have
that conflicts. Go listen to our Ghost Heads review and talk with Craig Goldberg.
I know.
Justin is like, no, fuck that guy. And it's hilarious.
I'm just going to say it again, in case you're hearing this for the first time. This man spends an awful lot of fucking money on toys and collectibles when he should be fixing his goddamn fucking grill, because in Ghost Heads, I wanted to fucking rip his teeth out with a pair of pliers. Now, that is really mean. I feel really bad about it, because I know not everyone has access to dental insurance, but Jesus Christ, it's distracting.
All right, everyone. Chill.
Sorry, I really got fucking pissed there.
No, it's funny.
But it's just funny because, well, it's not really funny because the poor guy only had one good tooth.
So anyway, Nick replied and was like, I already told your friend to fuck off, basically. Like, we told him not to post in here. We're not supporting this shitty fan film, because this is the one that was supposed to be, like, they don't even have a script for it yet or whatever, supposedly. Yeah, they're asking actors and people to donate money and props to it and everything for free. Yeah, and all that kind of shit.
The backstory is that several people in our local Ghostbusters group were asked to participate in this movie, and they're asked to pay for their own airfare, they're asked to take their own paid time off of work, they're asked to provide their own props, their own costumes, they're basically asked to provide everything to go travel
This is
somewhere.
also a fan film where they're recasting everyone. This is not like a new character situation. They're casting people as Dana Barrett, as Peter Venkman, as Egon Spengler, which is just funny in general. Also, if you want fucking to do a fan film or something, crowdfund that shit. Shoot a trailer and crowdfund it. This is 2021. It shouldn't be that hard to know how to do that either.
Well, my thing is, like, what's the point of this? If it's not going to be as good as the original, why are you wasting your time? Because you can just go make a little video of you shooting your proton pack and pay for a month's subscription to Adobe After Effects and put your proton stream dancing around in your yard, which is all you really want to see, because it's to stroke your own ego. You're not doing this because you think you can outdo Ivan Reitman or Jason Reitman, are you? Because you're fucking nuts if you are.
They're not even going to outdo 2016. They're not going to even outdo the worst episode of Slimer, The Real Ghostbusters. They're not going to outdo anything. They're not going to outdo The Room.
No, not at all.
No, not happening.
You know what the difference between them and The Room is, though?
I'm going to watch The Room.
With that, but The Room also had money to make... The Room also had a budget of their own.
Exactly.
So.
And has actual actors in it who appeared in other things and have other careers.
What is anyone's experience? Like, yeah, you have somebody you name drop a bunch of people, but until...
All right, so let me read the rest of this.
Okay.
So Nick basically was like, fuck off. Get out of here. I don't have what he said exactly because I didn't screenshot it for whatever.
Did you see something? Did he respond to that?
Yes.
Oh, I never saw that. It was deleted by the time I got to it at work.
And then Nick basically said all the issues of the film that we just described. And Tom replied, that's odd, cuz, and cuz is spelled C-U-Z, since I have been on board, ... 4 dots, and ellipses is 3 dots. Learn grammar. There has been no issue with promoting it. No money has been asked for, and there is scripts.
There are scripts? But there is scripts, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well.
By the way, call it a screenplay. You'll look better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So filming begins in May. I've secured interior and exterior footage to be filmed at the firehouse. I secured an Ecto-1 replica. We have Kevin Kuchaver, who did all of Ghostbusters 2 VFX on it. Rusty Gilligan on board and doing work. And cast all filled up and growing. ... Which lastly brings me to the point that what's his name, because that's what Nick called him in his comment.
Oh, yeah.
The other guy. Didn't really deserve to be spoken to the way you did in private messenger to him. Because he hit him back up and he was like, dude, just stop posting in there.
Yeah.
And that your distaste towards this project comes from the fact perhaps maybe you regret walking away from? Who knows? I wasn't around for anything that went on prior to my joining and things now really taking off. ... Well, anyway, I appreciate you commenting so distastefully. You can choose what you wish to promote on your page all you want. I wasn't asking. But you posted in our group. Our group only has 100 members. It's kind of a small group. It's not even a thing we're super worried about at the moment.
We're not even really pushing that because we we're out there chatting with other people.
I never heard of this or you all till you got nasty toward one of my cast members previously. Well, anyway, don't want to take you any more of your time, but feel free to visit. Feel is, by the way, randomly capitalized. It's one of the... I feel like you have to try to type this bad.
That's 95% of the...
Feel free to visit our page. We just uploaded the live radio interview we were on yesterday. Guess hell froze over. Stay fit, keep sharp, made good decisions, especially when addressing my cast and crew. And, which, I had never even heard of this till you got nasty towards one of my cast members firstly. He joined this group and made this post to be an instigator.
Mm-hmm.
So fuck you, Tom Gebhardt. You can come eat my ass. I'll review your fucking fan film when it comes out.
Here's my thing with that, though, and I get it. You can do a fan film and have fun with it and come from a good spot in your heart, right? And then you get these dumbasses that you're going to go spend all this money and you're
Should I put Ghostbusters Hell Fury in the title of this episode?
Yeah. Well, it's going to shoot in May. Okay, Uncle Dan. Yeah, we're shooting in May. We're shooting in May. We're going to shoot in the fall of 2024.
Oh, the cast is great.
We're going to shoot at the firehouse. Okay, because you got permission to shoot at the firehouse, but that doesn't mean you got fucking city permits to shoot in New York.
You remember, it's like watching in Ghost Heads. Remember that scene where he's walking up to the guy who's working on the Ecto-1, and he's at the firehouse, and he's like, so, how long you been with the crew? And he's just bugging the shit out of the fucking guy who's just trying to do his job. And he's like, yeah, I was on the phone with Peter Mosen last night. And then it cuts immediately to him going, yeah, I was on the phone with Peter Mosen last night to somebody else. And you're like, it's this clout goblin fucking bullshit. He's in it for the prestige of it all. You know what I mean? It's this weird thing going on. And it's cringy. I can imagine him talking to the firefighters at the firehouse there and being like, so, we want to shoot this thing here, and I was in this movie, look. And him showing the poster, look, that's me. I'm in the Ghost Heads documentary. Here's a picture of me with Ernie Hudson. Doing the whole thing, and just fucking... I'm over it.
It's the kind of shit that just makes all fans look bad, because, that's the shit out there getting, the reputation. And like I said, you can... say in Facebook all you want that they may let you shoot something there with a handheld camera or something small or whatever else, but to shoot a real production in New York City, you're gonna have to pull permits, and I don't think any of you kids have that grown-up money yet.
New York City is one place where the permits are very lax, so that's why you can shoot a lot of prank shows and are shot in there. So there's possibilities for that, but still, there's a bunch of reasons why this is going to be bad. And hilariously bad. But not entertaining hilariously bad. Unless you like watching, a car full of people set on fire. I imagine it'll be comparable to watching that.
Well, if you're trying to recast the original movie with people that have no acting experience and people that have no production experience, even if you paid a production company...
We got the VFX guy from this, and I'm
not
my buddy
him
Jeff from, where did he work? Jersey Mike's?
Yeah.
My buddy Jeff from Jersey Mike's is going to film it. And he's, he watched Ghostbusters once before. I don't know, man. Fan films in general, especially Ghostbusters fan films, I have a very short patience for. It's not worth it unless somebody, at least one fucking person, has a bunch of filmmaking knowledge, passion, experience, or is at least striving for that as a career or something, or is at least it's an extreme hobby for them, at least at bare minimum.
Well, why would you rehash well-known characters, right? I get in Star Wars
That too.
fan films that you might want to see some cool lightsaber
They
battles,
aren't creative enough to actually come up with their own movie or story, so they're like, I'll do fan films. The same thing with fan fiction. Again, if you write fan fiction or do fan films, don't hate me, but they're hilarious to me.
Yes, unless you're writing professionally.
You're inspired creatively to do something, but not quite enough. It's like that old thing where they're like, those people who can do, and those who can't teach, and those who can't teach Jim.
Basically, yeah. And it's not to be negative about people having a creative outlet. Do the creative outlet stuff all you want, but give back to charity, do something with that. Like, you're going to spend all this money, and you don't own the intellectual property rights to make any money off of this, so you're never going to be able to get a return on profit on this, right?
Where's the Tylenol?
That's the craziest part of all this, is like they're going to try to spend all this money on this and think they're going to be able to sell like DVDs or some shit. You're not. You're going to get fucking
cease and desist, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit that this leads to, is a cease and desist. And more importantly, if you say you love Ghostbusters so much, what kind of pompous motherfucker thinks he can go take on a role Bill Murray took on? Riddle me that one, Batman, because holy fuck. How fucking delirious do you have to be as a human to be like, I'm going to be Peter Venkman in a fucking Ghostbusters fan film? Well, Jesus Christ. If that's the case, then I'm going to be fucking Thanos and get rid of your ass. Because nobody's got time for that. Your gremlin almost tried to jump off the tree because he felt like ending it all after listening to that.
He was like, oh God, Tom Gebhardt's making a fan film? I'm fucking over it. Take me out.
Like I said, I get that there's people that may have a good relationship with him or whatever, but
I don't know anybody who does.
I've seen Ghost Head, so
I've been with Del Griffith.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, he's just gonna fall off there, isn't he? You're holding on to the goddamn branch. Oh shit, he has a tail coming out of his ass there.
The only thing we didn't hear on that was that they were going to shoot at Video Bald's new fucking firehouse in Vegas.
Oh God.
It's the only thing missing from that.
No, we need to, you know what? I hope that Tom doesn't see this, so that way I can do a prank interview with him too. I'm gonna get him on here and be like, you want to come talk about Ghostbusters Hell Fury? And I'll just do some weird shit.
Hell Fury.
Yeah. It's badass. They might as well call it fucking Blood Fire Manly.
Well, they're trying to do a play on Ghostbusters Hellbent, the story that Dan Aykroyd and Manhattan. Are you going to call it Manhattan too?
Oh, geez, boys, that's a really
good
that's
title.
a real
good movie here. We're going to drink some of this Crystal Head vodka, and we're going to make a fan film where we go to hell in Manhattan, and it's basically just going to be us on the fucking movie set. It's a living hell.
If you can imagine hell.
It's a behind-the-scenes movie of us trying to make this movie.
That would actually be hilarious.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
We should do that. We should be the documentary people who document the making
movie?
of this trifling shit.
We could get awards for that.
Yeah.
We get cleared for the IP for that.
Exactly.
Oh my
and
God.
I've worked on films before.
Ooh, so have I.
I know people who work in the industry. Which, you know, I'm sure Tom does too. And like I said, there's a couple of people he's got. But it just is like, makes you wonder. It's like, okay, so that guy's really going to work on a movie that has no actors in it? I mean, I haven't heard about the whole cast and crew in a while, but there's been no script where you've cast people. That's not what you do. No.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Typically, before you greenlight a production, you have at least a work-in-progress draft of your feature-length film or your script. Whatever that looks like.
I think there's a group for this movie, and I'm going to share this in there.
Fucking think you're a goddamn legend.
Bring down the fire and brimstone.
I mean...
It'll be like the P group episode, which in case you didn't know, I infiltrated a group of people who drink their own urine on Facebook. It's a thing, urine therapy. Look it up. You can join the groups yourself if you're as sly as me. They are very watchy on who gets into the group. And after we trashed all of their crazy shit and looked at all their jars of pee, we posted our episode in a couple of those groups, and I was swiftly banned.
Yes.
Which is perfectly fine. But I wanted them to be aware.
That we know what you do.
Yeah. Same with you, Ghostbusters Hell Fury. I should say that there is no hate to the innocent cast and crew members that have been vilely manipulated by Tom Gebhardt to believe that this is going to be something not hilarious in a bad way. Not the good way.
I mean, I get it. You're in a documentary. That doesn't mean you have any right to do anything with a visual effects heavy movie. And like I've seen enough fan film stuff in the internet world where I can tell you that some of it's done really well. Like I've seen some amazing Friday the 13th stuff that's really fun, fits right in there, but it still ultimately kind of has that fan film vibe to it, right? Because money's tight. There's only so much you can do when you're not rich. Not everyone can go fucking make The Room, right? Where you can shoot all digital and on film.
Yep.
Not everyone has that luxury. The only way I would happily bring the cast and crew of Ghostbusters Hell Fury on the show is if Tommy Wiseau decides that he's going to be the star and he's going to play the Peter Venkman role and he's going to finance it. Because if he gets involved, sign me up.
I'm trying to think. I should take a day off and try to plan like a big promotional thing with them and interview them one by one and just get weirder as it goes.
You should.
Or just have Tom on and try to get real weird with it.
Ask if he can go to his collectible shed in the backyard.
You're like, will you show me on the doll where the shed touched you? Oh, man. There are some things that could happen. That's
Sometimes
fun.
I feel like an asshole, but at the same time, like, people are fucking lying to themselves so much in life. Like, we're pieces of shit and we know it. We fucking accept that for who we are. We're very self-aware of that. There's a lot of people that fucking lack that vision.
Mm-hmm. Self-awareness is the first key to recovery.
Exactly. Admitting you are a problem.
Admitting you are the problem is the first step to suicide. No.
Well,
I don't recommend that, by the way, to anybody. Just a thought.
That's a little permanent. It's a little drastic. We joke about it a lot because, well, we've been there.
Been there, done that.
That's why we can be so...
I failed at that, too!
But did you?
Can't cry in command.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, so what other kind of weird shit's going on? I feel like we're kind of having a real blast here. I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Let's see what else I got saved in my phone that people have said. That's not very good.
Although we did have a new YouTube subscriber that I said, show us on the doll where the 2016 hurt you. And he's like, you got me sold there.
Yeah.
And then today, I'm not going to get into all of it again, but I was in one of the groups and I said something about that. Show me in the, doll where the 2016 film hurt you. And a gentleman in there got really upset about it. Unfortunately, he couldn't type English very well, even though that's his native language. And tried to come at me about a bunch of stuff. And, I told him I was sorry he was abused as a kid. Because basically, he took my thing as there is that everyone always just believes anything a woman says. But you can't because I don't even want to get into all the details about what happened to him, but he went through some bad abuse as a kid and then went on a tirade and was trying to say I was pro.
Well, he didn't say he did.
He basically
said
implied it.
Somebody.
Yeah, but he got all into it about child molestation. You're like, whoa, that's not even what we're joking about here. But that's just the thing. And it's like, for people that have been through some shit, we can joke about whatever the fuck we want.
Basically.
So,
if I've joked about it, chances are I've done it. Wink.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about Fruit Looping on here, right?
Yes, he has.
I've talked about sounding on here. I've talked about those kind of hand jobs where they stick the It's like, there's a nail fetish for long painted nails, and they stick the nail down in your pee hole.
Oh, down in the urethra?
Yeah.
Huh.
I bet Tom's the kind of guy who is into that kind of shit. Stick the nail in there. Some extra Dom shit.
I don't know.
Think he likes to get pegged? Let us know in the comments if you watch this, Tom.
Yeah.
Do you like to get pegged? Give it a shot. You never know.
Is that why you're called Peggy
Also,
Sue?
to everyone out there listening who has not sucked a dick, suck a dick. You only live once. Suck a dick. It's my PSA for the day. Go for it. You know what I mean? Just really give it your all. You've seen a lot of porn, probably. If you're listening to this.
If you're listening to this.
You've probably seen a lot of porn. So just... I wouldn't say find the nearest dick and suck it, but I would say do some digging. You'll find a little... Not little, but you don't want massive for your first time either. Just find a penis that you're happy with and suck it, and let us know the results. That's your homework for next week. If you're 18 or above. I don't think we have much listeners. Most of our listeners are men from like 30, like age like 25, I think, from the Spotify charts to like 45, which kind of makes sense. But
yeah,
that means there's a lot of people out there who probably haven't sucked a dick. So report back. I want to hear the
That's
results.
Alex's life advice.
Yeah. Let me know if you have the guts to take a shot in the mouth, or if you're just going to pull out and stroke it, or if you can even finish that thing off.
And if you want to get like real toxic internet culture, you can say a real man would suck his own dick and take his own shot in the mouth.
Have you been spying on me?
Is that like porn suicide, taking a shot of your own gun in your own mouth? What do you call that? That's got to be some sort of fucked up terminology.
I call that post-podcast plans.
Alec calls that a good night on the couch.
I call that Tuesday.
He's like, I call that the feet to the air. Look to the sky. We're never going to have anyone reputable on here again.
Well, I don't really have much else to say.
I think everything that can be said tonight has been said tonight.
Yes. So, I don't really have much else to say. Just do that homework assignment and do all the liking and subscribing of the things. Check out our other videos, the most recent videos. We did a location tour of our Ghostbusters film sites in New York City, as well as our review of Ghostbusters Afterlife that came out last week.
Hey, and if you're thinking about giving any money to Ghostbusters Hell Fury,
Give it to us. Give it to fucking us.
Go buy a Killer Replica shirt, and I'll donate $5 from every shirt sold to Children's Mercy Hospitals. And if you buy a sticker, I'll buy a sticker, or I'll donate $1 from every Killer Replica sticker to Children's Mercy Hospitals.
At this point, I might even just start up my own fan film. Just
do a better version of it and troll them.
Do the exact everything I can. Like, join their crew under a false name and, like, learn everything they're doing and just do it better. Make a documentary about that.
We can reboot their own movie after it comes out. I'm going to call that right now. That's what we're going to do.
Oh, my God.
We're going to reboot it.
Have a good night, everybody.
Shut this off. Shut these all off.